everybody, and welcome to episode 323 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering, whether you're sitting at home jamming some Arena, you're around the table with a couple of friends, or you're heading on over to your local game store.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And I just did it with jazz hands.
Yep, jazz hands. They've been around since jazz.
You know what?
What?
We've got a good show this week, and it's got so much stuff in it.
I really thought that you were going to give me a fact relevant to jazz hands.
Well, I could, I suppose.
Your segue sounded like it was related to jazz hands and not to our show. But no, it's okay. We do have a good show this weekend.
But no, to go back to jazz hands.
Sure. Yeah, let's.
I actually am curious to know when jazz hands started to be a staple of something in choreography.
Oh, that's a great question.
Probably with Bob Fosse is what I'm going to guess tentatively.
I feel like there's kind of like a jazz hand element to the Charleston.
That's true. You get a little shake in there.
Yeah, like in some swing, right?
But
there's
is it
like
a true jazz
There's some pre-jazz hand action happening
the
in old
forebears
swing. Yeah.
of modern jazz hands.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway.
You can listen to our other podcast, The History of Jazz Hands.
It's one episode and then it was promptly canceled. Can a podcast get canceled? You're asking yourself.
This one was.
Did. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So today on the show, we're going to talk all about that hot new War of the Spark trailer that dropped on Sunday
I'm so
at
excited.
PAX East.
Yeah.
Plus all of the previews that we've seen since then. It's only been a day, but there are already so many previews to be seen.
Every single card gets a preview this season, so
pretty cool.
We've already got a pretty good idea of how the set is shaping up, which is actually unusual because a lot of the time the commons don't come out until the full set is released.
That's right.
You know, or
but
revealed.
Do you know what? You can reveal uncommons when they're Planeswalkers.
I know. Very exciting.
We'll also talk some about the Mythic Invitational that happened and what those winning deck lists looked like, plus our league results.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what? Spoiler alert, Paul didn't win.
That's right. He didn't.
Suck it, Paul.
We got your number, Paul. We're also going to talk about our personal goals for Arena coming up this season. So that means the next month or so. And what we're hoping to hit, what we're going to play.
Yeah. What happened last season?
What happened last season with
We're going to have a Simic Storytime.
Ooh, sibilance.
Yeah. And we'll talk about Arena. Pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty now.
Yeah, it is. It's very pretty.
I'm very excited about
the Zagana. No, not the Prime Speaker Vanifar.
Yeah.
That beautiful.
Do you mean
I love that avatar.
The avatar?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's so beautiful.
Great. I'm a huge fan of the Tristani one. And I don't really want any of the Tristani cards in that bundle, but I want to be Tristani. So you know what? I've made some bad financial decisions on Arena already.
Yeah.
Why stop now?
And if that's not a business model, then I don't know what is.
Before we get into the show, big, humongous, enormous Christmas-sized thank you to everybody who is a supporter of us on patreon.com/GLHFmagic.
That's right. If you're a supporter of the show, you are keeping us on the airwaves and being broadcast out of cats' mouths everywhere. And we really cannot thank you enough for your support.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of different tiers that you can sign up for, from $5 a month, which is $1.25 an episode, all the way up to $40, which, you know, if you break it down per episode, perhaps that seems, you know, doable or manageable to you, but you can still become a patron at $1 a month.
And if you're wondering, what is that actually doing?
Yeah.
Some stuff that I really love that we've started recently and that this patron supporters have allowed us to start is we're streaming more regularly.
That's very true.
At least 3 days a week.
Yep.
We have a sick new green screen for our stream.
Yeah, looks awesome.
So it looks really cool and you can see more of Arena while we're streaming it.
That's
Plus,
10 to 2 Central, by the way, Tuesday through Thursday.
And that's as an example of hey, what does that actually help us do? Those are two definable improvements that literally would not be possible if there weren't patrons of the show.
So thank you so much. Megan and I just had to pay our taxes and it was horrific.
Yeah.
Is the only way that I can put it. So please help us. And we're going to say thank you to Card Kingdom. They've been with us for a number of years. They're so wonderful. Check them out online at cardkingdom.com/GLHF.
It really has been a number of years.
It has.
Wild.
You can say good luck have token and you get some Maria and Meghan tokens in your order. You can also ask for a good luck high five sticker.
Yes.
And they're selling these awesome new mugs that have, they're kind of minimalistic art from the land. So like basic mountain, plains, island, forest, swamp. And they look pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
So if you need something snazzy to drink your morning coffee out of, check out those mugs on Card Kingdom. And
there's so many coffee cups on our desk, and they're all mine.
That is accurate.
I need to be better about that.
Let's talk about the War of the Spark trailer.
Ooh, Maria.
Oh.
Did
Okay.
you ever think that you would hear a Linkin Park song in a
You know
Magic
what?
trailer?
No, I can honestly say I never thought that would happen to me.
Same.
But when the first time I saw the trailer was at PAX, it was a live reveal during a panel hosted by Jimmy Wong, but there was no sound.
Yeah.
For like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't know what it was. And so they played it, and everybody in the venue, I'm sure, heard it, but everybody at home is like, why? And now it's like extra funny because then once they replayed it again, once they had the sound fixed, it was like, oh. Now I see.
I heard that other songs they were considering included Eminem's Lose Yourself.
I heard they were thinking about using some Drowning Pool.
Oh, yeah.
Just a really slow,
Yeah, a really slow
emotional version.
of a Drowning Pool
Yeah,
song.
mhm.
Oh,
Maybe
and
the
Dark
next
Horse entry, Alanis Morissette's Skater Boy.
Ooh.
Avril Lavigne.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, but hear me out. Alanis Morissette cover
I
of
would
Skater Boy.
listen to that all day. Alanis Morissette covering Skater Boy? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Did you see there's this article going around about somebody who's like, Jagged Little Pill, not that good, my new hot take. And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
I've heard that there's a new musical of Jagged Little
there
Pill,
is.
and I've heard that it's incredible.
Oh, I would love to see
Our
it.
friend has seen it, and she said
This
it was
album
so
is
good.
great. And if you disagree with us, you can get out.
Anyways.
There's the door. Anyway, yeah, this trailer is great. If you're
I
watching
heard Jagged Little Pill was also a consideration for the trailer song.
Awesome.
Avril Lavigne covering it.
So what did you think when you witnessed this trailer
Okay.
for the first time?
First, I was confused for a while because I was like, why are things moving backwards?
Oh, yeah.
Which that was confusing to me. And then when an Eternal sucked out Dack Fayden's spark,
No!
like a little spark vamp. Ooh, that was
I didn't know the Eternals
spooky.
could do that.
That's what I was thinking.
If you're not familiar with the lore, these are Eternals. These are people who lived on Amonkhet.
That's right. And they were a very special kind of mummified.
Yeah.
Because Amonkhet was all, like this huge battle society built around all of this like ritualistic
Trials.
battle. Yeah. And a bunch of people died, but it was like very heroic to die.
Yeah, you
and
wanted
so
to
then
die.
they were eternalized. And they have like it's like basically kind of like an insect exoskeleton.
Mazatep.
Yes, it's like a very hard, like tough, hard
shell
on the outside. So they are spooky undeads.
Yeah, and Nicol Bolas was a false god on Amonkhet,
Yes.
and he amassed this army of these undead zombie
Yes.
warriors to help him do his dirty deeds on Ravnica.
And so we now see that with the planar bridge
Yeah.
that Tezzeret is
Master of, if you will.
Yes. They're all coming to Ravnica.
Wow.
As are all the walkers.
Spooky, and they have the ability to suck souls, or sparks, I should say.
I mean, same diff.
I've got to say,
They're like little dementors.
they are. They're spark dementors.
Spooky.
When I saw Dack's soul getting sucked out
yeah.
by an Eternal,
And then it was so sad when he
'Cause he's like-
tried to do some magic
Yeah.
and he couldn't.
he reached out his little red hand,
yeah.
and he was looking real cute. Hey, Dack, what's up?
Weird, but okay.
And
He's going through some stuff right now.
yeah, I would say. But then we see like Liliana leading this army
Yes.
of these Eternals through the city with her powerful purple magic.
Yeah.
And she looks over and she sees a brother and sister crushed under some rubble
Yeah.
from apparently the disaster that's been
Yeah.
happening from Nicol Bolas.
Okay, first though,
yeah.
when the hand was hanging out, did you think that she thought that it was Jace's hand?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah.
100%.
Because it looks kind of, it has
It
a
looks-
gauntlet on it.
yeah.
The sleeve looks kind of like Jace's sleeves.
I thought it was dead Jase.
Me too.
And I was like,
I was
I was was here for it.
Very excited.
I'm not gonna lie, I was here for it because Jase and Liliana have had a thing in the past, so her having this like emotional reaction to him being dead would make sense.
Yes.
But then it just turned out to be a girl and her brother, and I was like,
what? That's
just kidding.
way cuter.
It was actually way better. But
It's
at
way
first,
sweeter.
I
Yeah.
was disappointed that it was not Jase.
Only because you were disappointed Jase was not dead?
Yeah, okay.
But then there was the other arm in the Rebel later
Yeah.
that did look like it could beat Jase that time.
Ooh. What do
Like,
you mean?
that's what I thought.
They're going back in time. It's the same one.
Oh.
You know
See,
what I mean?
this is what I'm saying. I was confused.
Time travel is hard.
It is.
You know, Teferi does it a lot, but we don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, she sees him, and then I thought, like you said, that this was a really wonderful callback to Liliana's story with her brother, where she tries to cure him and in fact turns him into an evil like zombie
lich lord.
And she sees these two kids, and she thinks about her and her brother's relationship, which I think is really sweet.
Yeah.
And that like kind of clears her head, and she's like, "What am I doing?" I don't know if it breaks Bolas's power over her or if she was just like doing this because that was in her contract and she had to.
Because otherwise she's going to die.
Yeah. But in the end.
And then she just decided that it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
Oh,
and
man.
she freaking like Infinity War like
and she's
exerts
like,
herself.
she's like dissolving.
Disintegrating.
She's disintegrating but in a fiery way.
Yeah. To like take down Bolas in one final act.
Well, we'll see, because that's not what
Maybe.
it looked like. She was trying to defy him, and just that was disintegrating her.
Question.
Yes.
Do you think Liliana alone has the ability to somehow defeat Bolas?
I mean, if any of them do, it's she.
Why?
Because she has been around the longest. We don't talk about a lady's age.
Yeah.
But
But Liliana.
but Liliana
she-old.
is very old. Right. And
Yeah.
like very, 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 very powerful.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I mean, like, I'm curious to find out what happens in the story. Like, this is the deepest I've ever been in Magic lore.
Oh, same.
100%.
No, that's not true. Well, okay. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it's cool. I like it, especially because this set is so story focused.
Yeah.
You know, it's a huge
It's really
payoff
cool.
to be paying attention.
Yeah.
So that was the trailer. I loved it. It was emotional. It was great. It was super well done.
Yes.
And got me super hyped for the set coming out.
Same.
So I can only say, like, I don't think Dack died when his soul got ripped out. So I keep saying soul. Spark got ripped out.
I mean, it seems like a soul. He definitely didn't die, right? Because he was
Some
like.
people were saying he died, and I'm like, no. He's
I don't
not
think
dead.
he died.
No, he just got his spark ripped out.
Yeah.
He's just
I wonder
normal.
what the Eternals do with those sparks.
They were sending them to Bolas.
Oh.
So there's a panorama of which they draw the basic lands from in this set, which isn't the first time they've done this.
Yeah.
But it's super cool looking, and you can see the sparks flying towards Bolas. So he's like sucking them up and eating them to become God Bolas.
More powerful.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Wow.
I drink your milkshake. Your spark shake. Yeah. So it's looking pretty grim.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins?
Great question. Who do I think survives?
Oh, I don't know. We see Gideon kind of getting soul sucked or spark sucked. Gosh darn it, from the Eternals too in this trailer.
Yeah. Or they're trying, but
They're
then
trying.
when Liliana stops them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have to say there is a preview card. Which kind of says to me that Liliana might be victorious because it's called Liliana's Triumph.
That's true.
So, by the way, a bunch of new preview cards out.
Yes, so many. I think that Teferi does some time magic.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on
It
there.
really seems, because there's even the card.
Time
wipe.
Time wipe. Sorry. I'm 15. Yeah,
Time wipe. And it has, so here's the flavor text on it. To comprehend the full answer requires years of temporal study. In short, they were now never born in the first place.
Oh.
And you see a whole bunch of Eternals like disintegrating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Amonkhet and all that might get reset too.
Yeah. Like it never happened.
Well, that makes sense because of all the time nonsense going on in that trailer as well.
Yeah, that's true. Like everything moving forward and back.
Spooky.
But that's kind of, I mean, I imagine other bad stuff has to happen. You can't just have Teferi time magic it all away.
He can't just make it all a dream. That's
exactly.
a cop-out.
Make it all a dream.
Or whatever.
It was all a dream.
All right, so let's talk about some of the most exciting preview cards
Yes.
that have happened. And
absolutely.
obviously, Planeswalkers is the headline here.
Yeah. Uncommon Planeswalkers.
There's so many of them.
Yes. Here's an example. Speaking of Amonkhet,
Yeah.
Samut Tyrant Smasher, 2 and then hybrid red green, 5 loyalty.
Okay.
So these Planeswalkers now, here's the headline. They have static abilities
Yeah.
on them.
It just always is true.
Creatures you control have haste as Samut's. -1. This is her only ability.
Yeah. Just
Single
minus.
ability. Target creature gets +2/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. Scry 1.
By the way, we called that. Just to toot our own horn. Toot, toot.
Oh, a single ability Planeswalkers?
Which is a minus.
And
Yeah.
only minus, yeah. Pretty cool.
So some people have been like, wait, that's double haste. And the deal is that you can minus her down to nothing and you will still get the haste ability.
Yes.
That's the deal there. But yeah, the one that I noticed that seems just like an enchantment is Kiora.
Behemoth Beckoner.
Wow, she's beckoning some behemoths. Her static
Yes.
ability: whenever a creature enters with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card.
Yes.
And so this is Colossal Majesty from a previous set, but she has
the
one
core set.
The core set, one little minus ability, -1, untap target permanent. She has a loyalty of 7
7.
for 3 mana.
This is pretty cool. Like you can use her to untap a land.
Yeah.
And maybe get out some real big creatures ahead of schedule and draw some cards.
Yeah, so like, would you play this card?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the right deck.
In the
not
right
just
deck.
in any
Yeah,
deck.
not in any deck,
But in like
for
a
sure.
big green creatures deck, I would play Colossal Majesty if I have the right number of
Right.
4+ power creatures.
Yeah.
Speaking of Teferi Time Raveler.
Now we have 2 Teferi's legal and standard. This one's 3 mana.
Yes, 1 white blue, 4 loyalty. Each opponent can cast spells only anytime they could cast a sorcery.
Okay.
Wow, brutal.
Messing with time. I
Yeah.
like that.
+1 until your next turn, you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash.
Okay.
Love it. -3, return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand. Draw a card.
Okay, so this all seems super flavor filled for what was going on in the trailer with
Yeah.
Teferi, which I think is really, really neat. Is this card standard playable?
I believe that there could potentially be a home for it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, 3 mana Planeswalkers have, historically been super, super powerful, but
Yeah.
this is a different world, and that's only a rare, by the way.
Yeah. Wild.
Just
real wild.
a rare.
We're seeing so many walkers though. Arlen is here so far. Obnixilis the Hate Twisted.
Yeah.
My personal favorite, maybe like modifier.
Great name.
Planeswalker name.
I'm Obnixilis, by the way, talking about flavor, loses his spark in this from the flavor on this card, Obnixilis's Cruelty, which is 2 and a black for an instant, and kills Lyra. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead.
Ooh, nice card.
Here's the flavor text. Trapped on Ravnica with no, what is it?
Affection for either side.
For either side, Obnixilis sought gratification in random acts of torment.
Ooh, ouch.
Wow, Obnixilis. That sucks.
I mean, he's always been a jerk.
But let's talk about Liliana for a second here.
Yes. Liliana Dreadhorde General.
Also, great name.
Yes. 4 black, 6 loyalty. Static ability. Whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card.
Okay,
+1, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token.
great.
-4, each player sacrifices 2 creatures.
Wow.
-9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. Each permanent type. That means
Okay.
your lands, friends.
Goodbye.
Lands.
This is a very powerful Planeswalker.
Yeah.
6 loyalty.
Yeah, it goes up to 7 right away. I really like that -4 sacrifice 2 creatures.
Me too. Put this in your deck with the other Liliana that cares about zombies, maybe.
Zombs.
The Zoms.
Zom.
Double Liliana
Zomlana.
zombie deck.
Yeah.
I'm into it. By the way, Tybalt's back.
Yes.
So we
Tybalt.
said we either wanted Tybalt to be the best in the set or the worst in the set. Turns out he's still just like mostly bad.
Yep. Tybalt Rakish Instigator, 2 and a red, 5 loyalty. Here's another uncommon Planeswalker. Your opponents can't gain life. Okay.
Sure.
-2, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target.
When mine dies, I'm going to finish off my Tybalt.
I mean, because do you know what I love about this? At 5 loyalty, you can only activate it twice and then it just
still
has a loyalty.
Well, shall we use that to segue into the mechanics for this set?
Ooh, yes.
Speaking of counters and loyalty and that kind of thing, Proliferate is back.
That's right. Proliferate. This has not been around in a good long while. We saw it in some of the Masters sets.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I'm trying to find a card that we've seen so far that has it.
Yeah, it's messing around with counters of any type. On planeswalkers, on creatures, blah, 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 blah.
Karn's Bastion, which is a land. You can tap to add a colorless or 4 and tap, proliferate. Choose any number of permanents and or players, then give each another counter of each kind already there. Yeah. So that includes planeswalker loyalty counters.
Nice.
It includes +1/+1 counters, -1/-1, poison counters on players.
Energy counters.
Energy counters. That's right.
Yeah. So
all of the types of counters.
Bring your dice is what we're saying.
Yes.
To the pre-release.
Speaking of, there's also going to be counters running around because of a new mechanic in the set. Amass, which I had to read several times.
Yeah, it is kind of a little bit confusing because they use the word army as a singular.
Yes, that is the part that trips me up when I'm reading it.
But I guess they're just trying to create the feeling of a giant army just like with one body.
Yes.
I don't know a better way to put it.
So here's an example. Crush Descent. Instant 3 and a blue. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2.
Okay.
Amass 2. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on an army you control. If you don't control one, create a 0/0 black zombie army creature token first.
Okay. So you get a 2/2.
Yeah.
Bonus. Nice little bonus on this card. If you fire this thing off, that's some pretty sick value.
Yeah, it's true. Like counter a spell, make a 2/2. Or if you already have an army, then it puts counters on that army.
So can I choose?
No, it's only if you don't control an army.
Okay, but
if you already had one, you'd have to put the counters on it.
Okay, so I could never have 2 armies is I guess what I'm saying here.
That's weird, but yeah, you can only ever have 1 zombie army.
Okay. Got it. That's at least that's what it feels like from everything that I've seen so far.
Yes.
You can just have that one.
Which is maybe why it's singular.
You deal with that one.
Yeah.
And that's your
And then
army.
there's another zombie army after that.
By the way, your opponent, you can go and read rules about this stuff on dailymtg.com. And we're going to have Judge Robin here, of course, before the pre-release. But they can't mess around with your army before you put those counters on or anything. Like, they're just there. You can't be like, I kill your 0/0 before you get counters.
No, it enters with them. Because otherwise, it would die to state-based effects.
Whoop. Just go right to the yard.
Fun.
So there is a really cool card that deals with armies. Some people are calling it Better Blossom or Zombie Blossom.
That's right.
Dreadborn Invasion. One in a black. Dreadhorde Invasion. I can see everyone. It's fine. 1 in a black for an enchantment at rare. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. So you put a 1/+1/+1 counter on an army you control. Whenever a zombie you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until end of turn.
So basically, you either make a 1/1 or you make your 1/1 into a 2/2, your 2/2 into a 3/3. This is pretty sick.
It seems very good.
Yeah. This is...
And lifelink on the 6 or greater, gets you out of the range of killing yourself from a Bitter Blossom.
And the fact that it just keeps making a creature if there isn't one out there.
I love it.
Pretty cool.
The zombie army will not stop. Is there any other preview card that caught your eye in particular that you're like, this is what I'm excited for?
I really want to talk about the Wanderer.
Oh, yes!
This is one of the stained glass walkers that everyone was talking about, and we thought that it was one of the APAC region specific ones. Yeah, but it is not.
No,
it is the Beyonce hat, Beyonce hat walker, as I like to think of her. And now we know it's simply the Wanderer.
I love it. 3
and a white for a legendary planeswalker. And you know how most have like the dash and like in their type line and then the name?
Yeah, nothing. I
Just
love it.
Legendary planeswalker.
So mysterious.
Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you and other permanents you control. -2, exile target creature with power 4 or greater. This is 5 loyalty.
I
love it.
I love it. It's mysterious. It's weird. We don't know what's going on. I'm here for it.
Yes.
And I believe it's Elspeth who's been hiding out in Kamigawa.
Many people believe that it is Elspeth. People have been going back and digging up some of the Theros lore.
Oh.
To be like when people come back from the underworld in Theros, they don't have they look a lot different.
Oh, okay.
I think they look kind of spooky. Which is relevant. We can't see the Wanderer's face.
Okay.
But they look kind of spooky. And they've lost like a lot of their distinguishing features.
That's why they wear
like
gold masks.
Yeah. And they don't have, while they still have a lot of the qualities that they gained as people, like the way that they're talking about is like, if you learned to play an instrument when you were alive and you came back from the underworld, you wouldn't necessarily have all of your memories of learning how to play, but you would still be able to play.
Oh, wild.
Yeah. So stuff like that. So Elspeth would still have all of the stuff that made her her, but she wouldn't have all of those memories.
She also gets a card here, Wanderer's Strike.
Yes.
For 4 and a white, exile target creature, then proliferate.
And so people have particularly pointed out the -2 ability, the exile target creature with power 4 or greater, as being an Elspeth ability that we've seen before.
Super Elspethy.
So I wanted to know.
I know. When will we find out, though?
I don't know. Maybe it's just it's a mystery forever.
No.
Or maybe a Johnny will recognize her because he was her mentor.
Yeah. That would be
something
really
like
cute.
that.
I would like that.
Except that she might have a spooky face.
She might have a spooky... If she's wearing a gold mask, I think that'll look BA.
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to touch briefly on Jase, Wielder of Mysteries, because this card is so dumb. I think it's very funny, though. 1 blue, blue, blue. All right, for 4 loyalty Jase. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead.
Nice.
All right, let's mill some people out. +1, target player puts the top...
Mill yourself out.
Yeah. Mill yourself out. Target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into the graveyard, draw a card. -8, draw 7 cards. Then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game.
Pretty sick.
Jase, Laboratory Maniac.
Yeah.
I think
it's basically what's going on here.
I mean, people are definitely going to try and do this. I think it's very fun.
Yeah.
Cool alternate win condition by like milling yourself out.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about all these cards that we've seen so far?
I'm very excited. I'm so excited. How could you not be?
What does this mean for limited, though, with all of these planeswalkers? What does this mean for standard?
I mean, they don't seem too broken.
I think it'll be really interesting to find out how many you end up putting in your deck.
I think the games will potentially be pretty complicated.
Because you don't want to have too many. You need creatures to win a game. And a lot of these...
Maria.
A lot of these care about you having creatures to start off with. Anyway, what I'm saying is a planeswalker does not always mean you immediately win when it comes to these uncommon planeswalkers and that kind of thing.
For sure. And I mean, you wouldn't want that in a game where there's so many of them.
I also have to say that the complexity of this set feels quite high.
Yes, I agree.
So we see that sometimes in Magic, like M19, for instance, very simple, which it's designed to be. And this, I was just looking through all of these and I'm like, this seems like it might be...
The complexity is
the highest in recent memory, at least for me.
No, I definitely agree with that.
Okay, so yeah.
But
strap in.
Yeah, I think the play experience of this in Limited is going to be like unlike any other set, which is an exciting thing to look forward to.
Just like, do I really care about their uncommon walker? Do I really care?
I mean, it's going to do some stuff.
Yeah.
But do you care about it more than an uncommon creature?
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
not.
Do you care about that Tybalt sitting there with just 1 loyalty left on it?
No, never. You don't. You really don't.
But what if they proliferate? Then they get another devil creature.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that is something you've got to keep in mind.
It's going to be pretty cool. I'm very excited.
It's time to talk about the Mythic Invitational.
That's right. Congratulations to everyone who played this past weekend. It was a really cool event to watch.
Yeah. Andrea Mengucci won the whole thing.
That's right. Which we'll talk about leagues in a little bit. But if you listened last week, you know that Andrea Mengucci is like my always pick, like Reed Duke is Maria's.
Yeah.
And got there.
He got there.
Got there.
Took home that trophy.
But first, we're going to go over the top 4 deck lists.
Yes. So this was the format duo standard. So players had to bring 2 different decks or 2 of the same decks, as Cedric Phillips did in this tournament. And then randomly, the first game, your deck is chosen for you. You can make a decision. Then in game 3, which one you want to play, because in game 2, you have to play the one you didn't play in game 1. So the decision on what deck to bring was not only coupled, but like what deck do you bring along with it?
Yeah.
So let's talk about what our top 4 competitors chose to bring.
And these were best of 1 matches.
Yes, best of 1. So
first we have Piotr.
Yep.
Who brought mono blue tempo.
So he is the only player to bring mono blue tempo, which I was quite frankly shocked by.
And we were worried because we put a lot of those cards in our league decks.
We really did, actually.
I didn't do well on the cards one, but made the top 4 with it.
Yeah. So congratulations there.
And then also mono red aggro.
Yeah, and this was as you may imagine, hugely popular choice for people. And it seemed to be you either made the decision to have mono red aggro or mono white aggro as your aggressive deck.
As one of your decks.
Yeah.
Then we had, how do you say this?
Savich.
Had Esper Control.
Yep.
And mono white aggro. There we go. We
Classic
see it there.
pairing. And a lot of people, of course, Esper Control was the flavor of control that they chose to bring to the tournament. Just really, really showed off.
Yeah.
It was very, very good.
Then we had Andre Strosky, who is quit magic.
He just keeps getting pulled back
year,
in.
right?
Yeah, it was not that long ago he quit.
Mono red aggro.
Classic.
And Esper Control.
Yep.
There we go.
Classic pair up. And finally, Menguchi, Esper Control, of course, and mono white aggro.
All right. So we see a lot of pairings here that are either just aggro, all in, or a control and an aggro.
Yeah, so I think that's the big story of the weekend. Esper Control plus your aggressive deck, mono white or mono red. In the end, I don't think there was a better choice. One was better than the other. A lot of it came down to what was your opening hand.
Yep.
I mean, that's best of 1.
It's true.
So,
and we'll talk about this a little bit more when we get down to like our season goals and our own playing on Arena recently. But I have a theory.
Ooh.
And Maria, you've heard a little bit of it.
Excellent.
But I'll talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah. So overall, really cool tournament to watch. They blew out the production budget, so it looked really cool. The lighting was great. There was pyrotechnics, and there was like music that they had while the players were introduced. Lots of cool stuff like that. Was really neat to see them really invest in that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, but if I had to comment on just kind of one of my takeaways from watching this tournament, I watched the whole gosh darn thing start to finish, was that I wished that we had more deck diversity.
Yeah.
And this is obviously not the players' fault because they're just going to pick whatever they think is the best. But seeing, Esper Control mirrors again and again and again, or mono red versus Esper Control.
That's exhausting.
It's just like a little bit like we've watched this play out. It does, a lot of times it comes down to, does the mono white deck have the draw that it needs to win? Because if it doesn't, it's just going to lose, period. And so it would have been fun to see like players being 5 decks or whatever. And if they win with one, they can't play it again and they've got to play a different one. And that way we get some really cool, weird stuff that we didn't really get a chance to see on camera a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah.
I think that would have been neat.
Yeah. I mean, this felt like a format that was done to, in part, show off kind of the players, which is cool. But it would be really neat to see Magic structure a tournament that's designed specifically to show off a bunch of types of deck.
Yeah. And I think that too, we're also showing off Arena, obviously, here in this Mythic Invitational. And what better way to interest people than weird and cool decks?
You can look at all of these kinds of things that you can do. It's not just control and aggro.
Yeah. Look at my dinosaur deck. And somebody did bring a dinosaur deck, which was pretty neat.
I did get to I watched Ken Yukihiro on a Thursday morning just go off with the Dovin's Acuity deck, which I adored. I was watching because he got to the point where he was just so far ahead.
Yeah.
And so he was going and getting multiple copies of the Mirari Conjecture or blinking it back to his hand and then using it to double cast Mastermind's Acquisition.
No.
Instead of winning the game, just
messing
really
around.
messing around.
I mean,
it was very good.
That's another great takeaway. There were so many fun moments between the players that we got a chance to see because there's cameras on their faces reacting the entire time they were playing the game.
So nice.
It was, and also crushing when you saw somebody realize that they were dead.
And do you know what? we don't have a ton of paper tournaments still.
Yeah.
But why do we not have that in paper?
I mean, I guess it's up to the director to take the shot of the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? More often.
Here we go.
Yeah. Because we do have, I mean, not at GP level or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, sometimes we do. But I mean, like, you know, there are camera operators on both players' faces.
Yeah.
At all times.
So we should just
I want to see it.
them.
The emotions were great.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can tell that everybody was just having a great time there. I mean, right? Why wouldn't you? The base level gets $7,500 in a trip to PAX. So like,
yeah, exactly.
I lost, but like whatever. In the end,
now I have 3 days at PAX.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check out a bunch of cool games.
I also, and that's being said, I would love to see a best of 3 tournament this way. You know, classic Magic displayed on Arena. But I'm gonna take that back and say if that's not possible, I would have liked to bring 5 decks or something.
Yeah.
Rule instead, but. Yeah, overall, super fun to watch and it's really cool to see Andrea win the whole thing.
Yeah.
That guy's lucky as heck.
Or really incredible at the game of Magic also, which is
And
why
also
I picked
lucky.
him.
Yeah.
For my league team. So first we have our players league.
Pick 10 players.
77 people entered.
Wow.
Thanks for joining us,
Thank
friends.
you.
Congratulations to Hector, who took the whole thing down.
Woohoo, Hector.
We can take a look at Hector's list. Also had Andrea Mengucci.
Yep.
Also picked Andre Strosky, who
Yep.
ended up in that top 4.
Well done.
David Wynn, Reed Duke, Amazonian, Jestefan, being their other top finishers in there.
Congratulations to
Yeah.
Hector. You're going to get a sweet good luck high five prize in the mail.
That's right. And then I came in second.
Yay!
I came in second. I feel pretty great about it. Andrea Mengucci obviously being the headliner there.
Yes.
But Gabe Nassif did pretty well, as did Matt Nass and Reed Duke.
Oh, by the way, Hector, please email us glhfmagic@gmail.com with your mailing address so we can send you your prize.
And then we had cards. 67 people entered this.
Okay.
And congratulations to Chris F.
Chris F.
Who went all in on Esper Control.
So I love this. This take was Esper Control and Mono Red.
Yep, it was really
split 50-50.
With a one of Legion's Landing in there. But Teferi, Absorb, Chemist's Insight, Kaya's Wrath, Mortify, all in there.
So
nice.
Chris, again, please email us at glhfmagic@gmail.com and we will get your prize in the mail to you. Yeah, some pretty good decisions by our players in our leagues.
Yeah.
And of course, Mythic Championship London coming up. We're going to do leagues again. So if you didn't get a chance to play this time, stay tuned.
And remember, as always, the most important thing is Paulton
beating
win.
Paul. Absolutely. Going on the theme of Arena, we're going to talk about our goals for the upcoming season.
That's right, because the preseason just ended.
Boop.
With the end of the month of March.
Yep.
And Maria, how did it go?
All right. Well, I achieved the rank of Diamond 2
nice.
in Constructed, and I can't remember in Limited because
that's the way it goes.
I didn't play that much because it was an old set already.
Yeah.
So I'm usually drafting a lot more when it's brand sparkling new. So that's the highest rank I've ever achieved. So I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
BBD's Green White Angels were able to push me over the top, into that rank. But gotta say, I'm going for Mythic, and hopefully I can get there next season. I think that one thing holding me back, as we've talked about, is my reticence to play a deck that is known as a tier 1, like mono red, mono white. So I guess I'm gonna have to toss that out the window next season and just suck it up and play it.
Play a mono white deck.
All right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I got to Diamond as well.
Yeah.
And that was mostly in the last couple of days of play. We talked last week about BBD's Best of One article, which had that Green White Angels and the Dovin's Acuity list, which I built both of those.
Those are great decks,
and they're just so good.
They're so fun.
And do you know what? It amazed me the difference between just playing a deck that I was like, sure, I'll try this, or I'm playing this for right now, versus a pro being like, this deck is good for specifically this unique format that is Best of One. It's its own thing. It has its own things that are decks that are better and cards that are better, and interactions between the different kinds of decks that are happening. And so playing those felt like going from felt like I went from like, you know, riding like a pony to like a thoroughbred in the Kentucky Derby.
That is exactly what it feels like.
It was like before I was trying to race in the Kentucky Derby, but I was like on a pony. And me and the pony were just like, let's go. And then I hopped on Green White Angels, or I hopped on Dovin's Acuity, and that thoroughbred just like took off down that race course.
I was riding a horse off of a, what is it called? Carousel. Like in Mary Poppins, and it was going very slowly, like boink, boink, boink. And then I was like, let's try Green White Angels. Shoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously,
difference.
Dovin's Acuity is a deck that's way more my style.
Yeah.
And I do love it. It's so great. It's so much fun. But a lot of the last couple of days, I was playing Green White Angels just because the deck plays so quick.
Yeah.
And that's part of it too. Part of ranking up is just like you only have so much time to dedicate to it. Sometimes it's like accepting your losses early.
Yep.
And sometimes it's about just playing a deck that's going to let you grind a bunch of games very fast.
Because you only move up 1 pip for every win in best of 1.
Yeah.
Like best of 3, you move up 2 pips.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot longer potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially.
But there were Green White Angels games where I was just like, okay, I need to leave by, 5:45. And it's like 5:30 and I'm like, I have time for one more game. I play a game and it's like 5:48. Not 5:40. It's like, right. It's like,
yeah.
It's like 5:35 and I'm like, I have 10 more minutes to play another best of 1 game right now.
Find 5 more games I can fit in here.
Exactly.
Boopity boop.
So
yeah, if you're interested in a cool best of 1 deck, definitely check out either of those. We talked about them last week too.
yeah.
They're just like aces.
So I felt really good. We've talked about wanting to achieve Mythic.
Yep.
Which is still something that it's like, for a season, it is something that I would like to accomplish. That being said, having just finished and gotten to Diamond, I do feel just really good about that because I didn't think for a long time that I would get there.
And you get 5 packs.
Exactly.
It's not nothing.
No.
And you get like 1 more for getting to Mythic or something.
Exactly. It's like 1 pack per rank.
Yeah.
Which is, what it is.
A lot of people are grinding at the last minute to trying to make it in the top 1,000 in Mythic so that they could qualify for an MCQ tournament on Magic Arena. So congrats to everybody who made it in. I know it was not easy, and a lot of people were
really difficult,
decaying a bunch of ranks overnight. And
just like the number of people that I talked to who are just like, and I'm trying to get top 1,000. It's just like, I feel like I personally know 1,000 people who are all trying to get into the top 1,000.
I know, right?
And that's just the people that I've talked to.
Oh, yeah. So hopefully, no decisions that had to be made that were pretty unhealthy for people to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know a better system, so I'm not going to try and figure it out right now. But
which does feel like right now it is a little bit of an issue. I think
I don't know how to fix
because
it.
A lot of hitting Diamond was that I just played, like I was at a place over the last couple of weeks where, like, honestly, it's like the end of winter for us, and I've been like feeling kind of down or like had trouble sleeping anyway. So I was playing Arena just to be like, hey, I'm not in a spot where I feel super competent or like out like doing other things. Exactly. But if it's like summer and stuff, I don't want to be a person who's inside all the time playing Arena, and I don't love that it's a system right now that rewards spending all of this time. Hot
take: in summer, it'll be easier to make the top 1,000. Think about that.
Maybe so.
But yeah.
Oh, my theory.
Yeah. Oh yeah, your theory.
So here's my theory.
Okay.
And these 2 decks that we've been playing, the Dovin's Acuity and Green White Angels, are what made me think it. Especially as I was climbing with Green White Angels, it got to a point where early on I was like, oh, there are some matchups that feel really difficult, like other like Bant or blue, like Simic or Golgari can feel kind of rough. And then I realized they're at their best when they play like combo decks.
Yeah.
Like best of 1 wants you to have an opening hand that is basically a combo deck hand. Green White Angels, what you're trying to do is like have Resplendent Angel and a way to gain 5 life.
Yep.
And it's really cool when you can do it with like Wild Growth Walker and Jade Light Ranger.
I mean, you can even extend this to thinking this about mono white.
Yeah.
like a hand you would keep in best of 3 is perfectly serviceable. You just absolutely have to throw back in best of 1 if you don't have 2 1-drops and then able to cast your Venerated Loxodon on turn 3 or whatever.
Exactly. Mono red, it's the same thing. The best hands for mono red are ones that have Runaway Steamkin and then light up the stage.
Yeah.
Like that just feels unbeatable, even if your deck has so much life gain. Dovin's Acuity, it's like you want Acuity and an instant.
Yeah.
And once you, like, if you focus on these decks, I just felt like I was having so much more success when I looked at my opening hands with, hey, am I going to be able to essentially combo off with this?
Yeah, that's a great point.
So.
We talked about how you've got to be able to do your thing in your opening hand because your opponent's not going to give you any time.
No, you don't have
be
time
able
to
to do
like, like just sit there and like mess around until you assemble it.
No.
You need to be able to, get that thoroughbred in the gates.
And get a wreath around its beautiful horsey neck.
Exactly.
Let's do a Simic Storytime with Meghan.
That's right, everybody. So in keeping with our story time on Ravnica, now we're catching up with the Simic. The Simic one is all about some merfolk. Ooh. And the merfolk right now are divided into the adaptationists, who are ones like Prime Speaker Vanifar.
Who love the movie adaptation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Who are all about like modifying themselves, right? Performing weird experiments on themselves. They're responsible for the things like Hydroid Crassus, which you learn are actually just like this terrible, essentially invasive species.
Well, yeah, it is a terrible invasive species. I will second that.
It's in the oceans, right? Where it's like all of these things that used to be happy and at home in the ocean. The Crassus are just like going nuts about it. And causing a lot of trouble.
Oh.
And they're modifying themselves. So that's like the new kind of hotness led by Prime Speaker Vanifar.
Okay.
And then there's Zagana, who used to be, if you remember Prime Speaker Zagana back in the day, who's a utopian, which is what the old merfolk were, or like is an older merfolk way of just sort of like kind of studying the harmony and really honing in yourself all of the great skills that you need to be a protector of the ocean. Ooh. Like you need to be very observant, and you need to be very empathetic, and you need to be brave, and kind of, cultivating yourself that way.
And not putting a crab hand on your foot.
Exactly. And so you're following like one of the old utopian merfolk who is teaching his little band of students. And he's talking about how, or her actually, all of her little band of students has gotten smaller and smaller because adaptation is kind of the hotness right now.
Body mods.
Yeah. And so you just follow them on this little story of like, they don't think that their students are going to do super well in these upcoming, like contests. And you also learn that there's like, what connects the ocean to the top is actually these like massive sinkholes.
What do you mean the top?
Like the top world of Ravnica. The oceans appear to be underneath.
Oh.
As far as I can tell.
Wild.
Yeah. The oceans are like underneath and they're connected by sinkholes.
Oh, and Ravnica's just a giant floating island city?
Yeah, kind of, I guess. Yeah, or something.
That's cool.
Anyways, so they and their students are like out studying the Crassus out in the ocean. And then they come across an old ship and there's a ghost pirate on it.
Ooh.
But the ghost pirate tricks them and is like, I've just been here for 100 years and I've been so sad because someone sank our ship and we were attacked by pirates. So they help drag it almost to the surface. But then they find out that actually he was the pirate and he's stolen all of these Simic treasures. So he and the teacher in their class recover all of these treasures. But then while they're like in a museum and like having this little ceremony to like put some of these treasures back in place in the museum, one of them gets an ooze on them, like this this quick adaptation ooze that the teacher who is against adaptation gets adapted.
No, you got
and they
oozed.
get in a giant fight. And then Zagana, utopian speaker, comes down and anyways, and everything gets all sorted out nice, essentially.
I'm still stuck on this ghost who's living underwater.
Yeah, the ghost was tethered to the ship.
Oh.
by some gold. And when one of the students finds out that the ghost was lying to them and that the ghost was just trying to get their treasure to the surface,
Never trust a ghost.
never trust a ghost.
Except for you, ghost host.
And this was a kid who had been like kind of holding back in their group.
Yeah.
And the teacher was worried about. But they take like the amulet that the ghost is anchored to and they throw it into a Crassus's mouth so that the ghost is inside the Crassus forever now.
Whoa.
Right. It was pretty funny.
Talk about an adaptation.
It was pretty great.
You now have a ghost living inside of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyways, that was it. And at the end, you see the teacher who accidentally got adapted. All of her students get places at the end of the year. One of their students goes off to study how like things from the upper world can be used to better protect the oceans. And save all of the animals that need saving from the Crassus and help them with some modifications, but not too much. And you see one of the adaptationist teachers come over and be like, oh, they had kind of had a rivalry earlier and the adaptationist teacher was kind of rude. And he's like, quit, you're rubbing it in that you have these cool tentacles. But the utopian speaker is like, or not, the utopian teacher is like, oh, but maybe in the future, instead you and I could just work. Like I was being too extreme in holding to my utopian ideals, and maybe you were being too extreme in holding to your adaptationist ideals. And they're just like, hey, maybe next year we can like sometimes teach our classes together so that they get a balanced perspective. And it was actually really nice.
Wow.
And it was really cool.
Good job,
cool
Simic.
to learn about like this merfolk way that's just like, oh, the utopians, but then now the new adaptationists.
Oh, and you mentioned tentacles. I mean,
So many tentacles.
if you're going to get adapted against your will, just growing like 6 tentacles, I got to think is like probably,
And there were
okay.
eyes at the end of the tentacles. So there you go. Which is, as we all know, is my personal nightmare.
Can look around corners.
No. Not thrilled about it. But anyways, it was actually pretty sweet.
Great.
You know.
Hey everybody, Ultra Pro is awesome, and if you want to look awesome while you play Magic the Gathering, consider their guild sleeves.
Ooh, that's right. They are beautiful. They're bright and striking and stunning, and I feel like I see them sometimes from like across the room, and I'm like, look at those.
I need those sleeves.
Look at those suckers.
So if you want to show people where you stand
Yes.
at War of the Spark pre-release, think about your guild. Represent.
Do you know what? Even though we like, sometimes I feel Simic and sometimes I feel Azorius.
Yeah.
I love all of the sleeves so much. Like I would use these Orzhov ones. I love these Orzhov ones.
I love these Boros ones.
They're so cool.
They're really awesome. And like you said, they just stand out really well and they shuffle really well. And this is the first Magic t-shirt I ever had, by the way. It was a Boros,
the Boros Fist.
Yeah, so this is like a little bit of nostalgia for me.
Aw.
And I mean, I just think that this is a cool icon too.
Yeah.
So great work to them on these guild sleeves. And you can check out all the stuff you need for your Magic the Gathering life. Deck boxes, binders, dice. They've got it all at ultrapro.com, but also cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Head over there because they also sell a lot of Ultra Pro stuff that you can use. So get your sleeves, get your tokens all in one spot.
Nice.
That's our show for this week.
That's right.
Wow.
What a lot.
That was a lot of stuff.
It really was.
And there'll only be more stuff
My
next
head
week.
is full.
I mean, can you fit anything else in there?
No.
But there's going to be more previews.
Maria, there's no room.
Including our preview card.
Oh, and perhaps a visit from a special guest.
Yes.
That we cannot wait to welcome back.
Oh, boy.
Who has some previews of his own.
Yes, we're very excited for his preview cards.
Yes, we are, of course, talking about Magic Expert, Magic Von Expert.
Magic Von Expert, the Magic Expert.
Yes. That's what I said. Magic Expert, Magic Von Expert.
Okay. Whatever. He's going to be here in his top hat with a bunch of really cool preview cards. You are not going to want to miss these. Some really powerful planes.
Some really, yeah, definitely.
And he definitely knows a lot about
He definitely knows a lot about magic and what is happening.
Yes, exactly. So what a treat to have Magic Von
expert
with
back
us
on the show
next week.
Thank you to everyone who makes the show possible, including visits from friends like Magic Von Expert, by being a patron of the show over at patreon.com/GLHFmagic.
If you're a patron, you get access to our Discord chat, which is just lovely, and our extra special patron special videos that we do every single week. So bonus free content for you, and also just the great feeling of supporting something that you care about.
That's right.
One final thank you to Card Kingdom and Ultra Pro as well for being our sweet sponsors. And lots of awesome stuff coming up for Magic in the very near future. So I don't think we're going to run out of stuff to talk about on the show.
No. Does not seem likely.
I mean, if anything, we've got jazz hands to go back to.